what would I do if my ex bought a Benz after a breakup, right? You can maybe probably go get another man, and they do things exactly how you do yours while sleeping, girl. Did I cry? Did I cry? I cried. I cried. Wangui, what would you do if you had a situationship? Honey, hey, my buns, what's happening? Well, sips tea. Dude woke up in my bed to go get married. Honey, the audacity of men should be put in a bottle and we would buy it. For me to pack my bags, goodbye, have a good life, good night, rest in peace. The baby is here. Where am I gonna take the baby? Get my facts right, collect receipts. Wangui, what would you do if you woke up as a 20-year-old? Let me tell you, ban. For fun though, guys, you're getting pregnant for fun if you dated a guy who earns less than you. Hey buns, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back. Welcome to this week's video. This week we're not gonna have a vlog because Ban here needed to take a little creative break for YouTube vlogs, and I needed to have like a little reset this week. If you follow me on Instagram, then you've been keeping up with me and you're not lost on why we don't have a vlog this week. But really, it's nothing much. I'm doing okay, but I needed to like have a little buffer week so that we can keep the creative juices going. But again, I'm a consistent babe and I really wanted to show up on YouTube this week, so I thought it would be a nice idea to have a what would Wangui do kind of video. I've done one of these before, probably over a year ago, and it's a nice way to connect with my buns without really talking about myself, because you guys have known me for quite some time. I feel like Q&As are out of style, so I asked the bands to ask me what I would do in certain situations. So they sent me quite some submissions and we're gonna get through to those. But before we do, I want to show you my tea. I've made a nice cup of vanilla tea to enjoy while I talk to the girlies. I have my little notes here, and at the end of the video we're gonna have a giveaway. Okay, we're having a giveaway for our 20k subscribers milestone. I want to share with the bands something really good, so stay tuned to the end to see the giveaway. Another heads up, next week we're gonna have amazing giveaways on Instagram, so do make sure you follow me on there so you don't miss out. But make sure you're subscribed here because that will be one of the qualifications. All right, yeah, so without wasting so much time, and because we have quite a number of submissions to get through, let's get into it. Like this video, leave me your comments, let's discuss down in the comment section, share your opinions about the things we're gonna talk about here today and help the bands. All right, so let's get into it. The bands are coming in hot. The band asked me, what would I do if I was dating? I would just be dating. Really, what else would I be doing? I would just be dating. I'm currently not dating, but when I do date, I will just date. There's nothing big to it and it's not such a big deal to me. And then the same band asked, what would I do if my ex bought a Benz after a breakup? Like, why does it matter? He moved on, you moved on. He can go buy a whole Lamborghini or whatever, and I get to do whatever I want to do with my life. I feel like when relationships end, again, it's important to acknowledge that these things do sting sometimes. When you see an ex maybe doing better and you feel like they don't deserve it, probably because they've hurt you. But let me tell you something, sometimes karma doesn't work the way we think it's gonna work, and sometimes we rarely look at our own shortcomings and we think we are okay and we were hurt because we were angels. But really, were we? No, we were not. It's okay for such a thing to sting, but I think after the relationship ends, it's okay to wish them well. They can go prosper and you can prosper. Again, it's not wise to carry these heavy negative emotions with you, because again, they stop you from attracting the same bends. All right, so move on. Wangui, what would you do if you got married one day and your husband tells you to quit content creation? I think this is a conversation you have with your partner before you even agree to become their girlfriend, because if they found me creating content, then they shouldn't have a problem with me continuing to create content. Again, if you're gonna love me, you're gonna love the totality of who I am. So if I'm creating content, then that's a big part of me. And again, for me, it's a whole business, so I'm not just doing it for fun and vibes. So if you're not supportive of it, then I shouldn't even become your girlfriend. Again, I understand people switch up and later they will have some kind of influence and tell you like, no, stop posting, you don't need to be creating content. I think for me, I would have a problem with that, because content creation for me is not just sharing with the girls and just vibing. Content creation is a huge part of my femininity. It's a huge part of who I am. It's how I express myself. It's how I create. It's how, like, you know, women were made to create, you know that, right? I am sure you know that. And we have a womb because we were made to create, not only babies but every other thing. But what I'm trying to say is that creating is such a huge part of my femininity, and if you're not okay with it, then you're not okay with me being a woman, right? You can maybe probably go get another man, right? Wangui, what would you do if your ex reached out just to check up on you? Guys, I think maybe sometimes we think too much into things we shouldn't be thinking too much into. Yes, I understand that sometimes they're going to reach out to you because they just want to see if you've moved on, they want to see if you're doing better, they want to see if you found someone else to love. But sometimes just treat it as that. He's just reaching out to just check up on me, and I will not even overthink it. You can reach out. If I have left that space open and I've left you access to me, then I will just treat it as that. But if I want to move on and never talk to you again, then I block you. But if the breakup was cordial and we didn't have a fight and I felt like you're not unhealthy for me moving forward, then I will leave you the access. Because sometimes, yes, I understand, like, when you move on, you don't want anything to do with this person, but I think we overreact sometimes. If they're reaching out to say hi, let them say hi, tell them you're okay, they're okay, good night, right? Yeah. Wangui, what would you do if you had no job and your whole relatives keep on asking what you're doing, yet they know you don't have a job? I think the issue here is not actually the relatives asking. The issue here is your self-concept. You rely on the idea of having a job as part of your worth, and I think that's what you need to first work on. Having a job, yes, is a big part of your identity, and it's a big part of how you thrive, how you take care of yourself, but it doesn't mean you're not enough because you don't have a job. The solution to this would first work on your self-concept and not be the first person to judge yourself for not having a job. That is not something you can really control. Yes, you do have control to some extent, but sometimes you just can't control whether you have a job or not. So first, make peace with yourself and be okay with the fact that you don't have a job, so that even if anyone else has an opinion of it, it's like, yeah, I don't have a job, so what else do you want me to do? You know, it won't affect you as much. And as much as, yes, it's gonna sting, it's not going to run your life, you know? Yeah. Wangui, what would I do if I felt like ending my life? Oh, Ban. Oh, my dear Ban. I hope you're okay. I'm gonna reach out to her and just hopefully she's okay. But yeah, this is a really tough situation. But I've never actually struggled with suicidal thoughts, thankfully, but I feel like if I ever got to a place like that, I think now that I have learned to be a little more expressive, I would share with someone. I would probably share with my mom or my sister or like my closest friend or a therapist, because I do understand that these kinds of things are quite shamed in our society, and it's like you're not supposed to have such thoughts, but life can push you to that space, right? You can get to that space where you feel like ending your life is the only solution. So I think I would be able, personally, I feel like I would be able to reach out and ask for help, and hopefully I would get the help I would be looking for. And I hope you do get the help you need, Ban, and I hope life gets better for you, and I hope you're able to navigate these heavy feelings you have. yeah, I really do wish you the best, but I'm gonna reach out to her to just make sure she's all right and at least alive. Goodness, this is sad. That was heavy. That was heavy. Let me sip some tea. Where? Wangui, what would you do if your friends keep copying you and they do things exactly how you do yours? Wow. Let me tell you something, guys. I've had such a situation where I don't consider that person a friend, but I've had a situation where someone was doing things exactly how I was doing. They were getting an opinion of everything in their life from me, so they would handle their situations exactly how I would handle my situations. And at the time, I didn't think much of it. I was like, oh, this is what I do. I inspire people. They want to buy a couch like mine, they can go and buy. It's fine. Like, it doesn't steal from my couch, you know. And as a content creator, you feel like you're plugging people to things. If I tell you guys, I found this mug at House of Leather, which is the truth, and all of you go buy, I don't think I would even bother. I would be like, yeah, it's a cute cup for the bands to have, we can all twin, I'm okay with it. But I think it gets to a dangerous situation where someone is running their life based on how you're running your life. They will literally copy your hair, your nails, where you get all your services done, how you style your house, how you deal with breakups, how you deal with literally everything. And I think that's quite a problem. But what I would do in such a situation, and what I did, was just to distance myself from this person. I quickly realized they were hoping to be me, but they couldn't be me, so they were waiting for me to do life for them to do their life. And I think that's quite dangerous. If you're doing that, ban, please stop. Have your own identity, have your own way of doing stuff, you know, create your own rituals, your own routines, and have some sense of self, you know. So yeah, so for me, I just decided to distance myself, love them from a distance, not really cut access. They can access me, but I think eventually they realized that I've kept some wall between me and them, because I felt like, hey, we can't be going on like this. I think if a friend is super close and you wouldn't want to lose them, you probably could have a conversation around this. It could end well or not well, I don't know. But for me, I didn't have that conversation. I just distanced myself and I created some boundaries between, you know, how we talk, how we engage, how we meet each other, how we see each other. So that worked for me. Wangui, what would you do if your first love wants you back and you love him too? I don't believe in going back to exes, and I have never I have never gone back to any ex. I have never gone back to any ex. At 22 and now almost turning 32, I would not recommend, because I feel like there was a big reason why it didn't work then, and that reason might just come back with an intensity of 100 if you're not careful. But I think some situations do work, especially if you met maybe when you were pretty young, you didn't even learn each other, you didn't even know yourself. Maybe in such situations it could work. But honestly, for me, if you are out of my life at some point, you're not coming back. You're not coming back, because if we part ways, there was a big reason why we couldn't work. So why do we want to go back to a life we already lived, you know? Yeah, so for me, no. Wangui, what would you do if you found out your mother was in an accident and lost both her legs? Oh my god, this would be pretty sad, pretty sad. Oh my god, this is really sad. I empathize with you. So sorry, Ban, for this, and so sorry to your mom for losing her leg. What would I do? I would lean on to my family and my friends for support, especially emotionally, because I know it wouldn't look like it's affecting you, because again, you have to be in survival mode to take care of her or to navigate that situation. I think I would need a lot more emotional support than usual, so I would lean on to my friends and my family, and I would express myself and say how this whole thing is affecting me, not to collect not to collect pity, but to process those emotions so they are not sat in my body. Wangui, what would you do in your entire life if money wasn't a problem? Girl, I would just travel. I would just travel. Let me tell you guys, the day I make like good big money, you guys are not gonna see me in this house. I feel like number one, I am a Sagittarius, by the way, if you don't know, and I do believe in astrology. Before you ask me, if you don't, skip. All right, me, I do believe in a bit of astrology. Yeah, I'm a Sagittarius, and our biggest characteristic is the love of freedom, hence why I don't even have an 8 to 5 job. I love doing my own thing. So the only part of me I haven't tapped into is travel, is adventure, is the excitement of new places, new food, new people, new things. I have that in me, and I keep looking for it in my small ways by doing like little trips, you know, like watching really specific things. Like I can tell you guys, let me tell you something, if I found myself in Cape Town today, I wouldn't get lost. I wouldn't get lost. I know that city like this. I wouldn't even get lost. But anyway, yeah, for me, I think I would do a lot of travel. I would do, if money wasn't an issue, I would probably have like a children's home. I love kids so much. Probably not my own, but other people's kids. I'm actually not even sure I do want to have kids. This is the first time I've actually spoken about this here, but yeah, I'm not sure. I'm in that space of like, do I want them, do I not want them? I will see as time goes by. But yeah, I do love kids so much. I think I would take care of you know, kids, like really tiny ones that are abandoned. Yeah, I would have the funds for that, to like make a really nice children's home with nurses and with caregivers, you know. I would do that. What else would I do? That would be my way of giving back to the community, and then travel would fill my soul. What else would I do if I had all the money? I'm not a things person, so I can't say like I will buy this car. I'm not a things person. I am an experiences person. So I think I would just immerse myself in as many experiences as I can afford. At that time, I can afford everything, so I will be doing everything. Wangui, what would you do if you had one of your doors creaking at night while sleeping, girl? I would scream to the end of the world, because honey, I am a scared girl. I have so much fear for darkness, for insects, for loud noises. I don't know what happened. I should actually ask if something traumatic happened in my childhood. But yeah, if I had my door creaking, the first thing, call my caretaker, come down to my house, someone is at the door, come down. And then I'd probably call my dad, because I feel like he's like my biggest protector. He would drive to this house in 20 minutes. Luckily I don't live so far. I would call my dad. What else would I do? I would get a knife. I don't know, these things that happen suddenly, you don't know what you would do in that situation. But I think I would just scream. And people would come to help me. Wangui, what would you do if you are unsure of the life you want, but outside noises make you doubt if you can have it? Shut the outside noises. That's exactly what I would do it, and it's exactly what I am doing, and it's exactly what I have been doing for the last 7-8 years. I have been creating content. I have just been shutting down the noises. It doesn't mean that my journey was always smooth and everyone supported it. At some point I was feeling like, Lord Jesus, I'm the only one of the opinion that I should be doing this. Why is no one backing me up? In fact, at some point when I was really struggling with content creation, you know, that cringe stage where you don't even know how to set your camera right, you don't even know how to edit correctly, you're just doing your own thing. I had friends then, they are not friends anymore. I had friends who would be like, oh, you know, your videos are not looking cute. Oh, I cannot sit down and watch a cleaning video. What the hell are you doing? You know? And let me tell you one that stung, and I think it still stings because I can remember it. When I've healed things, I forget them. But if I can remember something, trust and believe, it's still stinging somewhere. So someone said that I had put some background music to my videos, and I'm always now so conscious of the music I put as background music for my videos. They said that it sounded like a porn video background song, and let me tell you, honey, did I cry? Did I cry? I cried. I crowded. That was when my YouTube channel was at like 200 subscribers, and then you tell me my music sounds like that of porn, honey. Like, what the hell? And ever since, I hated that person. I still hate them, and I'm not forgiving them. You know, it's alright. Okay, so Wangui, what would you do if you got pregnant? Number one, I wouldn't get pregnant if I don't want to get pregnant. Hey, honey, I've survived my whole 20s and now in my 30s, and I just magically find myself pregnant? No. That's not happening. It's not happening. So, but anyway, it could happen. It could happen, you know. It could happen, you know. It could happen. So if I got pregnant, I think I would keep the baby. I'm big enough to be a mother now. I will take care of the baby, but I always feel like by the time I'm getting there, hey, the world has really failed me. Yeah, by the time I'm getting to a point where I'm actually pregnant, I must have been, I don't know, maybe reckless. I don't know if that's the term to use, but pregnancy, I fear pregnancy very badly, very bad. I have joined the Gen Z in fearing pregnancy. Wangui, what would you do if you had a situationship? Honey, I would just embrace it if I had it, because there's a reason why I have it, and I want it, and I want us buns to be free. I want us to be very free. Yes, I know, you know, in your self-development journey, you will come across, you know, content that says, oh, you shouldn't be having a situationship, you shouldn't be having this and that. But you know what? As a big girl, you can decide. You can decide what you want. You can decide you want a relationship that is leading to marriage and kids. You can also decide, I just want a situationship. I just want someone to talk to. As long as you have made that decision, not finding yourself in it. Not looking for marriage and then finding yourself in a situationship. You can have the situationship if that's what you want and that's what you have capacity for. But if you're looking for marriage and you find yourself in a situationship, honey, you are the one who's letting yourself down. So yeah, you can have a situationship, you can have a good relationship, you can have a thriving one, you can have a marriage, as long as you made the choice. All right, so I'm not opposed to situationships, by the way. Even like if my friends tell me, oh, I'm in a situationship with this guy, like to some extent I understand you need your back bent a little. I do understand, but did you choose that or did you find yourself there? Ask yourself that question. Hey, we have quite a number, guys. We're gonna be here for quite some time, so go refill your tea. Wangui, what would you do if you found yourself in a toxic relationship with kids and you want to leave with no source of income? Honey, I think I would move back home. I am very open to moving back home. I know society really makes it hard for us to restart our lives or to, you know, start over after hard situations, and I know maybe probably that would be like your biggest worry, like how do I move back home with my kids and I have no money. But I think if that's like your last resort, do it. Let me tell you, people will talk and think, and at night they will sleep, and tomorrow they don't even remember you, yet you're there thinking, oh, what will my friends say, what will my family say? No, honey, if that's like the last thing you can do, please do it. Again, I understand not everyone comes from a healthy family where you can just pack your things and run back to, and if this is your case for this ban, I would first find the support to support me. I would first find help to support me through this toxic situation. If it's not abusive to you in a way that it's unhealthy for you, I would stay a little longer to get myself some income, and then I would leave so that I'm able to take care of my kids away from this relationship. If it's super abusive and you're getting beaten and it's emotionally draining, I would still advocate for you leaving to a friend's house, to a safe house, to the police station. At some point it gets to a point where you just have to leave, even without your clothes. You just have to leave and fight for your life. But if it's a situation where you're able to hold a little longer and you're able to take care of yourself, you know, and come up with like an income source, I think I would wait a little. Wangui, what would you do if you got a chance to relocate to the UK? At this point in my life, would I go? I've actually never even thought about it. Yes, I do want to travel. I think I would have to weigh options and see what am I going there to do. Because if I'm going there to work a daytime job 9 to 5, I don't want to go. Let me stay here. But if I'm going there to continue with my content creation and probably work with the brands there, I would go and explore the country for a few years and then come back, or probably just stay. I don't know. I am quite spontaneous, and it doesn't look like it because sometimes I look like I plan too much. But yeah, I would go and just enjoy. Yeah, but I think I would still have quite some factors to consider, like the money. Where am I going? Why am I going? You know, I would have to consider. Wangui, what would you do if you had a caring husband but has no motivation to find more money or find an extra hustle? As the Murima babe that I am, I'm the worst to advise you on this, babe, because I believe, like, I don't know if maybe it's generational trauma, positively or negatively, I don't know. But I believe in men working hard. I believe in men having 10 sources of income, honey, because if me as a woman, I'm able to do all these things, what excuse do you have? Okay, that's a little bit, you know, harsh, but it's true. Like, if I'm dealing with a whole lucha face and I'm still juggling my motherhood and my all that, and I have a side business and I have a job, like, honey, sir, what are you doing, you know? But anyway, it wouldn't be grounds for me to leave the man. I think I would just have a conversation with him, maybe support him on something that he would love to do, and then we would see how it would go. But if this is bothering you quite a lot, I think you would need to have a conversation with him. But for me as a Murima babe, honey, we wouldn't even get there. I think these are the conversations, these are the things you would see in the dating phase. You know, you're able to see, is this person gonna hustle like me, or I'm just going to have someone who's caring and not bringing anything to the table. Wangui, what would you do if you were stuck between quitting a well-paying job, 200k plus, to start something of your own? In this brutal economy, I would keep the job for a little longer, and then I would start a side hustle, and then I would quit my job after the side hustle is making me an equivalent of what my main job does. I think that would be the situation. Like, if I'm making 200k, I would start a business or a side hustle that is able to make me at least 150 to 200k or even more, so that once I quit, I don't need to change my lifestyle, right? I think that's what I would do. But if the work environment is quite toxic and you feel like you couldn't survive, I think I would first build an emergency fund for maybe 6 months, and then I would leave to get another job, or even start looking for another job while I'm there, or start building my business while I'm there, so that by the time I'm leaving, I have maybe a 6 months emergency fund and a thriving business, and then I would be able to move forward, right? Yeah. Wangui, what would you do if you were terribly afraid of failing? I know most of us struggle with the fear of failure, and I understand. I do understand, because I have been there. Sometimes I still do struggle with it. I think it's mostly the voice in your head. It's mostly the voice in your head, and not much about what other people are saying or are gonna say. You judge yourself first before even people can judge you. You're already thinking about failing, so you're already leading with a very negative, emotion instead of leading with a very hopeful, positive emotion. So if you found yourself struggling with the fear of failing, I would say work on it, build your self-concept. Again, let me tell you guys something, your self-concept is going to change everything in your life, and it's something you constantly have to keep working on. It's not somewhere you get to 100 and you say, oh, now I have a full self-concept. No, it keeps changing and you keep experiencing things that target it. So you have to constantly work on your self-concept. How do you see yourself? How do you love yourself? How do you like yourself? How do you talk to yourself? How do you handle yourself? How do you process your emotions? How do you navigate your thoughts? How do you all those things? And it's really important, because when fear of failure comes, which is out of your control, when it comes, you're able to talk to yourself and tell yourself that you're gonna navigate it. Whether it stays or leaves, you're gonna navigate it. So the most important thing is understanding that yes, all these emotions might come, but am I able to handle them as they come? And or am I going to sit still and let them swallow me, you know? Yeah, so self-concept work. I'm gonna find a TikTok page and leave a link below if you're working on your self-concept, and you guys can go and immerse yourself in the experience of growing the experience of improving your self-concept and maintaining it. Wangui, what would you do if your siblings don't like you? Are they mad? But I understand there are siblings that, yeah, they don't like you. I think I would self-reflect and ask myself why they don't like me, but not so that I can validate they are not liking me, but more to become a better sibling, I guess. Again, if I do want to build a good relationship with these siblings, I would have a conversation. You know, I was telling my friend yesterday, Koi, I was hanging out with her yesterday, and I was telling her, we are now big and nobody's gonna beat us. I know we have quite some trauma, especially us millennials, because we were beaten for eating, beaten for sleeping, beaten for reading, beaten for passing, failing, all of them. We were beaten for everything. So we do have a fear of expressing ourselves, because we feel like naturally our bodies react to it as threat. Like me confronting someone feels like, oh my god, we're gonna die tonight. You know, that's what the body translates that as. But we need to start expressing ourselves more. We need to start having conversations more. Ask, nobody's gonna beat you, and if they beat you, you're gonna heal. Sometimes I tell myself that, like, let me express myself, let me say what I need to say, so that I'm not taken out of context. Probably your siblings feel like there's something you've done that they don't like, but you've never even had a conversation about that, you know. So ask, like, guys, I feel like you guys are sidelining me. I feel like you guys don't like me. Have I done anything wrong for us to get here? Like, can we talk about it, you know, and mend that relationship? That is if it's important for you. If it's not important for you, then you mind your business and continue with your life. The biggest and the freest thing you can do to yourself is realizing that you're your own adult, and you are your own self, and you can actually survive. And that's why we heal. We don't heal so that we will just never experience these heartbreaks. We heal so that whenever we experience them, we're able to bounce back into ourselves. So even if your siblings end up not liking you, even after the conversations, then you'll be like, you know what, I did the healthy thing, I brought up the conversation, it didn't work, okay, I will just have to move on. I'll be saying I have siblings, but I will just have to love them from a distance, you know. Wangui, what would you do if you realized you would want to try out lesbian sex for fun? Guys. Hey, my buns, what's happening? Buns, what's happening? Okay, well, let me hold space for you. I'm sorry for judging you, Bun, but I would just try. I think if I felt the need to try, I would just try, because there's a reason why I want to try, you know. Yeah, go ahead, have fun, Bun, have fun. Well, sips tea. Wangui, what would you do if you found out you were the side in your relationship? Dude woke up in my bed to go get married. Honey. His wife figured out, looked for me at my workplace. She was not mad at all. She asked to be my friend. Hey guys, I thought I have seen it all. Someone gets up from my bed to go get married? The audacity of men should be put in a bottle and we would buy it. Honey, hey, what would I do if I feel like we really need to work on our discernment. We need to work on our discernment, because what do you mean I'm aside to someone who's getting married? I think there must be signs somewhere. Or I feel like the bar is too low. We now let so many things go. We just let so many things slide and we just miss the red flags. They just fly away and we don't see them. But I think what I would do if I found out I was aside in my relationship, I would definitely confront the man. The girl has nothing to do with it. I would confront the man and tell him to explain why this is the case. Of course, he will say, oh no, I love you and I love her too. Girl, but I don't even know if it's worth my energy. I would just cut it and go take my journal and heal. I think I would just have to, I feel like sometimes, because I'm quite a dramatic and animated person, in person, naturally, I feel like I would be dramatic in certain situations, but when they happen, I pack my bags and go kind of girl. I don't confront much. I'm just like, you know what, you've given me every reason for me to pack my bags. Goodbye, have a good life, good night, rest in peace. So for me, I would pack my bags and leave, carry my journal and go heal, and that would be the end of it. Yeah, and I know it's difficult for you to even understand why he has another person and he's getting married from your bed that morning. I know it's hard, but yeah, write it down on the journal. Write it down on the journal. And on that note, get our journal. Thanks. Wangui, what would you do if you get a baby when you weren't mentally ready? I wanted to say something stupid, but yeah, let me hold that thought. If I got a baby and I wasn't mentally ready, what would I do? I would become mentally ready, because the baby is here, honey. The baby is here. Where am I gonna take the baby? The baby is here. I have to become mentally ready ASAP, with immediate effect. It's harder to do than we're saying it, but I think the most important thing would be to work on my mental health, find the support I need, figure out what I need to do for me to come to speed to the reality of my life right now. I would probably go to therapy and figure out where I am not yet ready. I would get the support from family and friends. I would work on my self-concept. I would work on my self-confidence, my self-esteem, learn how to love myself through this season, because I feel like most of the mental struggles when people have kids, it's mostly because of this big life change that has happened and you were not prepared for how hectic it was gonna be. And I feel like people romanticize the idea of kids and the idea of pregnancy and marriage and all of that, and forget that these things require real work. So I would snap into reality quickly, because the baby is here. I can't throw away the baby, you know. The Buns are working hard. The Buns are, guys, you need a hobby. Wangui, what would you do if you came from a people-pleasing family? I would heal that people-pleasing tendency, because let me tell you guys, the worst thing you can inherit from your folks, from your grandparents and your generation is people-pleasing. People-pleasing has to be the one thing that contributes to your backwardness so much in life, because you're always seeking to be seen, you're always seeking to be heard, you're always operating outside of yourself. You're not operating inside of yourself. You're always thinking, oh, are they gonna like this? Are they gonna like this? Are they gonna do this? Oh, they say they like this, so I'm gonna do this. Oh, my mother likes this, my father likes this, I need to do this for my sister, I need to impress here, and there's nowhere you're asking yourself, do I even have the capacity to do this? Do I even have the capacity to show up for my mother like this? Do I? And as someone who is constantly healing it, because let me tell you, these things are etched into your brain. You don't wake up and you're healed completely from people pleasing. It's always constant reminding yourself of, oh my god, yeah, we are people. Are we doing it because we want to do it, or are we doing it because we are trying to please someone? You constantly have to ask yourself such a question. And for me, I've had to really keep asking that question whenever I have to show up for anyone, anything outside of me. I have to keep asking, and I have to keep checking with myself, like, am I feeling okay to do this? And who am I pleasing? Who am I pleasing? Is it me or is it them? And if it's them, do I really want to do it, or am I just doing it so that they can see me and approve of me and love me and give me attention and praise me? Am I giving away that 1,000 shillings to that children's home so that they can tell me 1 million, 1,000 thank yous? Or am I doing it because it makes my soul feel so good, or it makes me really happy that I'm helping the society? You see that? Ask yourself that. Yeah, but if you come from a people-pleasing family, I would say, like, take the next journal and start healing. Yeah, you cannot afford to be a people pleaser in 2025. Life is already so hard, okay? What would you do if your best friend's man is hitting on you secretly? Hey, I told you guys the audacity of men should be put in a bottle and we would buy it. This is quite hard to navigate because I know girls can be quite something. I am a girl and girls can be quite something. Your friend can easily just snap on you because you came and told him about your man. So I think I would need to navigate this with some wisdom. Get my facts right, collect receipts upon receipts, girl, so that when I present my case to my friend to tell her that the man is hitting on me, I would have the receipts to show. Not because I don't think my friend will believe me or not, but yeah, these things happen and it's the reality. Sometimes us girls just, I don't know why it happens like that, but yeah, I would confront it. But first I would confront the man. First I would tell him, hey, look, I feel like you're hitting on me and I don't think this is right, and if you continue to do this, I'm gonna tell my friend. And if he continues, you tell your friend. If he doesn't continue, you still tell your friend. You don't want to have secrets between yourself and someone else's man. No, just say if they hate you, it's fine. You did the right thing. Wangui, what would you do if you never got married, or if you got married and never got a child? For me, it's been 4 years and I never thought of that. As Wangui, and as I've mentioned, if you've been attentive, I've said I'm not sure if I want to have kids or not. So I would have this conversation with the person I am dating way before I even become their girlfriend, because I would need to navigate that conversation about having kids and not having kids before you even agree to date someone. And I think in today's world, we need to be open to the idea of really not having them, not because we don't want them, but we have real life issues like infertility. So what happens if I can't get a child? So are we gonna divorce? And you need to set those things in place. Are we gonna divorce and you're gonna have another person to give you kids, or are you going to be okay with me not having kids? I think it's time we start having such kind of relationships where we are open to the idea of having kids and not having kids. And if by any chance we don't get the kids, what will happen? What are we gonna do? Sometimes I feel like these things are swept under the rug, and again, society makes it very obvious that you get married, you have kids, you continue with your life, but it doesn't always happen like that. So have the conversation before you even get married. But again, if I got married and I didn't have a kid, I think I would still have the same conversation. Like, what do you want to do? Do you want us to continue in this marriage without kids? Do you desire kids? Because people change. You might even have this conversation with them before you're married, and later they're like, yeah, I do want kids. I think we need to be very open to the idea of marriages ending because someone else wants kids and they can go get kids. And if you had that conversation and they decide to change, people are allowed to change, and you just need to let them have their thing and you continue with your life. Another aspect to this whole thing is if you're struggling with infertility, of course, seek help. And if it's not possible for you to have kids, and you've tried and tried and tried and you can't have kids and you really do desire them, then talk to your gynecologist, talk to your fertility doctor, and see what can be done. If nothing can be done, then girl, I think now you would need to deal with the situation, process the emotions however heavy they would be, and make peace with the fact that in this lifetime you're not gonna become a mom. And as sad as it sounds, sometimes all we have to do is accept, so that we're able to move on with life and pick another journey on this life. I'm sorry though, I hope you do get your child if you're desiring your child. Okay, Wangui, what would you do if your closest friend doesn't acknowledge any of your accomplishments? This is a little swing. I would call it a little swing, because as much as yes, we do love validation and acknowledgement from our friends and affirmation that we're doing great and oh my god, congratulations on this and that, sometimes I feel like, and I'm saying this as me now, earlier me would have said, oh, cut off your friends, they're not good friends. But me now, on my healing journey, I've come to accept that we do struggle with quite a number of emotions day to day as adults. My friend could be looking at my success story as such a painful thing for her, and she would need to navigate through those emotions for her to be able to acknowledge my growth and my success. Now, is that grounds for me not being friends with her? I don't think so, but I feel like that deserves a conversation around, you know, your feelings. What did you feel like? Hey, look, I launched a business a few months ago, you've never said anything, and I feel like, you know, as friends and as, you know, people that are close to each other, I felt like you probably needed to say something about my business, and I've been feeling a little, you know, sad about that. So, and you can now navigate, you know, whatever conversation comes out of that. Again, guys, I will keep screaming, start expressing yourself, start talking things out. Sometimes it's not cutting off and ignoring and avoiding things. Sometimes it's actually expressing yourself, and this is me building my secure attachment. This is me building my secure attachment, because when I was anxiously attached, I would communicate, but in the worst ways possible. And then I became an avoidant, and I wouldn't even confront anyone. I was just cutting people off. But right now, I'm learning how to express myself and really just separating yourself from people's behavior, so that when you're addressing it, it's not a fight. It's not a fight, it's a conversation. So talk to your friend, tell them how you feel, and you might just end their friendship cordially or work on it. There are only two results. Wangui, what would you do if you woke up as a 20-year-old? Let me tell you, Ban. I would just have fun. I would just have fun, just like I did. Honestly, I don't think I would change anything. I would just enjoy it like I did. At 20, I was in Kenya Medical Training College. I was doing my public health diploma. I was in Nakuru, and I had friends, and we were just going clubbing, and we were just dating left, right, and center, and we were learning how to drink. I would just have the same thing. I would just do the same thing. Honestly, I would just enjoy and learn and discover myself, of course responsibly, just like I did. I was quite responsible, by the way, in college. I was quite responsible. I would still do the same thing with as much responsibility, but still like have fun. People are going on a trip to wherever, go on the trip, honey. Go on the trip, it's fine. Wangui, what would you do if you got pregnant? For fun though. Guys, you're getting pregnant for fun? You guys need to be hit. What the hell? But I wouldn't get pregnant for fun. Like, who gets pregnant for fun? For fun. For fun. A whole baby? A whole pregnancy? A whole... No, I wouldn't. I don't even have an opinion on it, because I wouldn't. Wangui, what would you do if you got twins? Honey, hey. If I got twins, I would just be a mother to twins. Yeah, I would just navigate it. I would love them. If I wanted kids, that is, I would love them. I would take care of them. I would get the support I needed. I would work on my mental health, emotional health. I would journal 10 times a day. Wangui, what would you do if you dated a guy who earns less than you? Is that happening though? Is it happening? Is it happening, honey? Is it? Because I'm out. I don't think you would even get to the dating stage, because before you even make me your girlfriend, I need to see you spoiling me with your money. So if you're earning less than me, how are you gonna pay for my nails? How are you gonna fuel baby car? How are you gonna get me flowers from Waridi every week? How are you gonna pay for my facial at Thrive? How honey? You need to do one of those things. And if you're earning way less, I don't know if you would manage to keep up with your lifestyle and still do the same. Me, I'm just saying the truth, guys. And despite me being a Murima babe, I understand us girls need a lot of money. We do need a lot of money. So he needs to be earning double, triple me, because I will need one of the triple for me, right? Yeah, I will need, if I am earning 100, he needs to be making 300, so that one of his 100 is mine. Do you see why I'm single? Is this exact reason? Yeah. But honestly, guys, I wouldn't date someone who's not making a comfortable enough income for himself, because it's gonna be an issue, and I don't want to wear the pants in the relationship. And money is a big factor. It's a big factor as to why people wear pants and the others wear skirts. It's a very big factor, and I'm not doing that. Wangui, what would you do if I lost my job and spark? I would work to get another job and get my spark back. Sometimes the struggles we go through are as direct as the problem. I lost my job and I lost my spark, and I know the journey is not easy at all. But why are we always scared of going through the hard journeys? Why? I was actually even speaking to Koi again yesterday about this. Like, we, not us, because us bands are working on ourselves, but people are so afraid of taking the hard routes, the hard journeys of getting yourself out of pain and trauma and job loss and losing your spark. That journey is not easy. I am not gonna lie, it's not easy, but you have to do it. If you don't do it, you stay there. So you have to do it. So I would get another job, I don't know, hustle, get my spark back, which is what we do, you know, which is what we do. That's what we do as adults, right? Wangui, what would you do if you were starting your self-care and healing journey from scratch? Where would I start? Again, my self-concept. I would start with my self-concept, because I realize, as much as the self-care, self-development, self-improvement journey is hard, it becomes hard because you're looking at yourself from the outside. You're not going inwards. Yet the inwards you is the one that matters the most. The relationship you have with yourself is the one that matters the most. Forget your mother, sister, brothers, social media, forget everyone. The relationship you have with yourself is the one that determines whether the routine you set is gonna stick. It's the one that will determine how you listen to your thoughts, how you process your feelings, how you show up in the world, how you present yourself, how you show up at work, the kind of friend you are, the kind of sister you are, the relationship with yourself. And there are very many factors that affect the relationship you have with yourself. As much as some of those things are really hard to navigate, like maybe trauma from, you know, how you grew up as a child, it would take you years for some of these things to heal and to process. I do understand that, and I acknowledge. But where I would start, my self-concept. I would eliminate every other thing and deal with myself. How do I see myself? How do I handle myself? How do I speak to myself? Who am I to me? Not to the world, not to anyone, to me. That that changes everything. And you do that by doing mirror work, which is standing in front of a mirror and telling yourself you are enough, and telling yourself you're a valuable asset in the world, and telling yourself you are worthy of everything good in this world. You do that very many times a day if you need to. You also do that by journaling, to process your thoughts, to organize your thoughts, to process your emotions, to not hold on to bitterness and grief and sadness and frustration and disappointment. You need to process those things. And while you journal, you allow your body to process those same things. Going to therapy to heal who? You. Remember, it's self. It's you working on you. Then after that, you're gonna find yourself wanting to do more things for you. You will want to keep your space clean because it matters to you. You will want to do your hair and make sure it's clean because it matters to you. You will want to have amazing friendships. You will want to be an intentional friend. You will want to show up better for your family. You will want to heal your people-pleasing tendencies. But it has to start with your self-concept. How you perceive yourself, how you see yourself, how you listen to yourself, how you hear yourself, and how you understand yourself. All right? Good job. Wangui, what would you do if you were living with family that drains your cup and have no way to be away from? This is again another whole point on self-concept. Of course, it would be difficult because if you're living with the same people that keep hurting you, it's like just staying in the mud, you know, cleaning yourself up and then getting the mud back again. But if you have a strong self-concept, nothing they would do or say would affect you. If you had a strong self-concept, they wouldn't drain you. You would detach from their behaviors. You would let them be whatever they want to be, and then you would let you be whatever you want to be. You want to be a confident queen, you're gonna be a confident queen even if your mother said you have 5 foreheads. Yeah, you're gonna be that because you have built a strong self-concept. And with family, how you're able to sustain your self-concept is by detaching yourself from their opinions of you. They say I speak too much. Honey, you gave birth to me. Someone must have been speaking too much in this family. Someone must have been speaking so much. You say I am working so hard to be confident. Maybe I'm doing it because you were not confident. You know, you say I talk back and I fight. I'm doing that because you sat and people abused you. You know, with family it's really tricky, but these are the things you have to detach yourself from. You have to see their opinion as theirs, and it shouldn't affect you. And I know it's hard because family is our first point of love, and somehow we allow them to define who we are. But as an adult, you can choose to be a different person than they know, a different girl. Sometimes I even say, like, I wonder if my mother and father know me, because I have had to change myself. I am not naive anymore. I am not going to bend over backwards for them as much, because I am my own person, and I choose to do what I want to do, and I choose to carry myself as I want to carry myself. You say I do a certain thing. Me, I know why I'm doing it. I'm doing it because I've had to heal a part of me from your trauma that you passed down, you know? So build your strong concept. Build your strong concept, and nothing they do or say will hurt you. And if it does, go back. Go back. You know, you're still human. These things are gonna still sting. Go back and rebuild it. Go back and affirm yourself. Keep a journal. Affirm yourself. Keep reminding yourself who you are. Keep reminding yourself that these people are here because they don't know much. They don't know much. That's the best they can do. They are draining you. To them, they are thinking that's love, by the way. They are draining you. Sometimes they're like, yeah, we need her to do this and that and that. They're giving you all these responsibilities, but to them they are thinking it's just how society is set up. To you, of course, they're draining you, but that's all they know, and you just see it as that, and then you let yourself be whatever you want to be. And then, of course, work towards creating some distance. If it's something that's constantly happening, work towards creating some distance between these people. All right? Yeah. Wangui, what would you do if you were a 27-year-old girlie who barely has nothing tangible in her life? I am tired of trying. Oh, Ban here is tired of trying, but Ban, don't get tired of trying. We never even get tired of trying over here. We keep trying. 20, at 30, at 50, we keep trying. And let me tell you something. The best thing you can do for yourself is eliminate timelines. Eliminate timelines. Eliminate that by 30, by 27, by 25, by 35 I will be. That is setting yourself up for failure. That hasn't even happened. You're living in the future, babe. You're living in the future, and you're limiting yourself to things that you are not even aware of. Who told you you're gonna be there at 30? Who said? Who said? So the same thing, stop judging yourself for where you are now. And on the same note, eliminate that self-judgment you have that at 27 you're here. You're here because you're supposed to be here, and there's a reason why you're not wherever you need to be. Probably God needs to work on a few things for you to be able to handle the life you're looking for, and that's okay. That's okay. If you eliminate your self-judgment, again guys, I think the topic for today should have been self-concept, the core of how you navigate life. It's like where you operate from, you know. So if you're the first one to judge yourself that by 27 you don't have anything tangible, do you think we're gonna see anything tangible with you? We're not gonna see it, and we don't even need to see it. You just need to see yourself, and it doesn't mean you need to have the car, the house, the job for you to feel like you're enough. You just need to be in love with yourself at the stage of life you are in, okay? So I hope you're able to appreciate yourself for coming this far, for trying, for keeping up, for showing up, even if things are not changing the way you thought they would change. You need to applaud yourself for even sticking through it, okay? And don't be the first person to cast a stone towards your life, no. And don't be the first person to judge yourself and be like, I should have done this, I should be here, I should be doing this, no. And if you know what you need to be doing, then just start doing it. Process those negative feelings you have around your life, because you're not gonna attract anything if you're stuck there. Process them, process them, process them. Ground yourself with gratitude. Ground yourself with gratitude. If you can't already see where you are now, what else will God give? God can't give you anything if you don't even appreciate what He's given you, like life. If you don't appreciate your life, He's not gonna give you more life. He's not gonna give you more things to make your life better. So ground yourself with gratitude, stop judging yourself, and clap for yourself and for trying through and through. All right, Aban here says I need to teach them how to journal. I do have videos on that, but I'm gonna do more sit down videos so that we can learn how to journal. I will be doing like journal with me so that you guys can learn how to journal. I'll do more how to journal videos and journaling videos in general. I do have like 3 or so. I'm gonna leave links in the description box so that you can, you know, learn. Wangui, what would you do if you were 28, getting your first job now, been through an accident that left you with ugly scars, never had a love life, lost all friends since they are doing so well, been depressed and lost now? If you have your first job now and you've gotten over the accident, even though you still have the scars, I think you're already winning in life. I think you've already passed the harder challenge of survival as an adult. And even though these scars remind you of a really tough journey, it doesn't mean it's always gonna be this way. It's a phase of your life that you went through, and it's important to acknowledge it, but you can't be stuck in the emotions of this season for life. You have to wake up one day and decide, this is my new life with my scars, and I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm going to navigate life. I understand you say that you lost your friends and your friends are doing so well, so you're depressed and lost. You're gonna meet new friends, babe. You're gonna meet new friends, but for you to meet new friends, you first have to become a friend to yourself. You have to first become a friend to yourself. Treat yourself well. Stop judging yourself. Again, guys, I feel like I really do need to do a specific video on self-concept, because yeah, most of these submissions from today look like we are struggling with self-concept, and we are really worried about how the world sees us and not really how we see ourselves. Yeah, but I empathize with you. So sorry, Ban, for the accident and your scars, but let's look at the positive side of things. You've healed through the accident and you now have your first job. Start with being grateful for that, and for sure better things are gonna show up. Okay, sorry, bye. Wangui, what would you do if you needed to start over? I would just start over, and I think I said this in the last what would you do video. I would just start over. And by the way, you guys don't even know how many times I've had to start over while we are still here creating content. I've started over very many times over here. If you go back to my videos, you will see I've started over very many times. At some point I was in a relationship and I had to leave. I had to start life again. At some point I had to build this platform from another life that I had. So I've been starting over. I think it's how you see starting over for you. How do you define it for you? How do you define it for you? But starting over shouldn't be an issue. At 20, 25, 35, you just start over, babe. You just start over. If you need to go back home and figure out your life, you just do that. If you need to quit that job and get another one, you just do that. You just do that, you know. But of course, carry you with you. Carry you with you, guys. I tell you, the relationship you have with yourself is gonna help you so much in life, and it has to be really good. You have to be your own best friend. You have to really like yourself. You know, loving sometimes is just unconditional and it's just like there. You have to love yourself, but liking yourself, you getting to a place where you like yourself is knowing that, you know what, I got you, babe. I got you, babe. Even if you're making mistakes, I got you, babe. We're gonna get through it. Okay, good. Wangui, what would you do if your work was draining you? You don't have an otherwise applied for jobs and still no other chance. I think you're probably giving up too soon. I don't know how long you've been applying for jobs, but people go for years and years trying to switch careers, trying to get new jobs. I think you still need to keep going, but I will throw in a little bit of gratitude here, because there's something that I've always known. I've always known that if you're looking outside of gratitude, you can't attract anything. If I am looking to attract a new client and I'm not grateful for the ones I've had and the ones I have, or the meal on my table, I'm not gonna get that client. So as hard as it is, this job is draining you, but turn the tables. Be grateful for it. Be grateful for it. Wake up every morning and be like, God, thank you for this job. Thank you for this job. As draining as it is, God, thank you. Thank you for this job. And that will change. What that does, it rewires your mind to start looking at positive things in your life. This is how you're gonna open up your mind to see, oh, I could do this. I could start content creation. Oh, I could actually apply to this company. That is how you, because you're not focusing on the negative side of things, you're focusing on the positive side of things. Yeah, the reason we rarely attract things that we're looking for is because we are stuck in negative emotions. We're just stuck there. You're just swimming in negative things and you're not grateful for where you are. And sometimes it looks delulu, but it's not. It's not. You actually have to be grateful for where you are and who you are and everything you have. I actually have that affirmation in my bedroom, if you've been saying it. If you change your concept to that and things change for you, come back and tell me. Come back and tell me. Yeah, I think we are done. Goodness, have I not yapped? Have I not yapped? That's quite something. But thank you so much to the buns that shared their submissions. I think we're gonna do this more because I feel like the buns have some interesting things to talk about. But yeah, thank you to every bun that sent their submission. As always, guys, make sure you follow me on Instagram so you don't miss such things. And now on to our giveaway. I'm gonna gift 2 of my buns our I am grateful journal. If you didn't know, I do have journals that I launched a few months ago. I'm gonna gift 2 buns a journal each so that you can start your gratitude journaling practice. We've spoken about gratitude a lot more here, and I do want to help a bun start on their journey. Tell me why you need a gratitude journal. I'm sure you can pick some points to steal from the video and from everything I've spoken about here. So tell me down in the comments, why do you need a gratitude journal? Why do you need a gratitude journal? So yeah, let's get down in the comments. Tell me why you need a gratitude journal, and I'm gonna gift 2 of you. Okay, 2 of you. You will get to choose the colors. You're gonna check the link down and you will see all the colors. You will see details about the gratitude journal, but once I pick, you're gonna tell me whichever color you like and I will have it sent to you. Okay, 2 buns, and this is in celebration for hitting 20,000 subscribers on YouTube. But guess what, the giveaways are not done, so go follow me on Instagram. This coming week we're gonna have so many giveaways, guys. When I say so many, it's close to 10. I have worked with my favorite businesses to surprise some buns and gift them some really good things that I enjoy. Think of WWYD. Someone is gonna get like a nice bouquet and a gift hamper. Think of skincare vouchers, guys. Skincare vouchers. Think of skin analysis vouchers, guys. Go follow me on IG and we're gonna get started with that this coming week. So of course, make sure you leave me your submission if you want to win the journal, and I will see you next week. We're gonna get back to the vlogs next week, but thank you so much for hanging out with me. And if you've watched to this point, leave me some love hearts in pink. Leave me some pink love hearts and I will definitely send you back some pink love hearts. Okay, thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you next week. Bye.